So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our program this evening. Is There Another Way? Part 2. So, tonight we're joined by Sister Indra. She's based in Mount Abu, India. She's a senior Raj Yoga teacher. She's very insightful. She's actually got a very analytical mind. She's got a science background in maths, and she's also been involved in spiritual research. And one particular area of her research is related to mind power and serving through the mind. So she's very insightful and also very experienced teacher, and we welcome her perspective on this topic this evening. So I'll hand you over now to Sister Indra. Thank you.
Om Shanti to everyone who are participating this live webinar today. Thanks to the technology also, which has made this real, that being physically far from each other, virtually we can meet. So thanks to technology. So today is the part 2 of the series, Is There Another Way? When I read this line, is there another way, this question, I remembered a very beautiful story. And the story goes like this. A father was engrossed in his work, and her little daughter constantly distracting him in an attempt for him to make him play with her. So, in order to keep this little daughter busy, what father did, he tore a page of printed map of the world from a magazine into pieces, and giving those pieces to her little daughter, he said to her, go to your room and put these pieces together and come back with the perfect map, the right map. The daughter was very young, so father was pretty sure that she would take hours and hours to get it done. But to his surprise, what he saw, that within a few minutes, her little one is coming from her room with a smile on her face and the map, the right map on her hand. And this stunned father asked this little one, how could you solve this puzzle so quickly? And the little daughter, replying to this question, she said, Daddy, there is a woman's face on the other side of this page, on the other side of paper. So what I did, I just focused my attention to get the face of woman. I didn't try to get the map once back again, but I tried to get the face of a woman. And this is how I could solve this puzzle so quickly. And so the moral is very clear, that there is always another side to whatever we experience in this world. So definitely, when the series has the theme, is there another way? Answer is yes. Yes, but how to do that? We look at the another side. It is the need of the hour. Till today, what we have the approach towards the life, we have the approach towards the life that we are trying to have something from the outside and feel it inside. This is our approach towards the life, to make our life excellent, to make our life successful, to make our life blissful. This is the approach we are using. But as it is said very nicely, we cannot solve the problems with the same thinking which we used to create the problems. So similarly, this approach, looking at life from outside to in, what has given this approach to us? What has given this approach? We are going far away from our fundamental qualities of stability, of peace, of love, happiness, bliss, joy, enthusiasm. We are losing. The more we have externalized ourselves, more we are feeling inside empty. Just like our external needs are food, shelter, clothing, similarly, there are some internal needs, and those are the stability, peace, inner calm, the love, enlightenment. But we are far away from that. Why? Only because we have adopted the approach outside in, from outside in. And therefore, now is the time to have another approach for the life. And that approach is from inside out. Because the word life itself gives a very beautiful meaning, very beautiful solution to make the life blissful, to make the life full of joy. How do you spell the word life? This word life is made up of 4 letters. L-I-F-E, which says look internally and forward externally. But till date, what we are doing? We are looking in the external world for peace and happiness and the joy and the bliss. And then we wish that looking all these things in the external world, we can experience these things in the inner world. But now from our experience, we know very well that doesn't went right. So now we need to change the approach towards life, look internally and forward externally. So what is inside? What is inside that I had to look? See, outside I can see everything, the outer world. See, this is the body. When I go in front of the mirror, I can see the image of this 5 feet long body, 5 feet or 6 feet long body. And the moment I see the image of this body in the mirror, what I exclaim, this is me. This is myself. Isn't that true? We say like that, we exclaim like that, this is me. And because this is me, my all efforts are towards this body only. But, suppose I'm feeling hungry. So I go to the room, the kitchen, open the door of the fridge and take out the apple and then take a knife, and with the help of knife, I cut the apple. But while cutting the apple, when it was my hand, my finger also got cut. So what I exclaimed that time? I exclaimed, my finger got cut. Few minutes back, when I was in front of mirror, I said, this is me. For the body, I said, this is me. But after a while, when finger got cut, my exclamation is, Oh, my finger got cut. Now just think, just pause and ponder over it. That for this body, if I say this is me, then each and every part of this body should be me. It shouldn't be mine. It should be me because I'm considering this body as me. I'm considering this body as myself. But when finger gets cut, I say my finger got cut. So see, for one thing, we are having two different beliefs. At one time, I say for this body that this is me. But at the other time, I say this is my body, and that is how for each and every part of the body, I say my finger, my head, my stomach, my legs. So I need to first decide out of these two, which one is right. Is that this body is me or this body is mine? I need to decide first. Because I need to know very clearly who is the self. Because then only, because what is the theme? Theme is there another way? And then it says, yes, free yourself and be yourself. But in order to free yourself and be yourself, I should very clearly first know what is the self. Because at one time I'm to this body, I say self, and then I say, no, this is mine. So I'm not sure what is the self. So first I have to decide very clearly at what is self. When we say create the image of the self, what we create? If I say, please create the image of the self, what comes in your visualization? Generally, the people answer that in my visualization, when I created the image of self, what came? The image of this body came. But as I said, sometimes it is self, and sometimes I say it is mine. So, and when I say mine, it is my body. So there should be someone whose belonging is this body, and I'm wrongly considering that this is self. So self is something else. And that self says that I says that me says that this body belongs to me. So we have committed a mistake considering this body as a self. Not only that mistake we have done, but because we consider the body is self as self, and then with the help of this body, whatever we acquired in this external world, it may be the name, it may be the fame, it may be the degree, it may be the designation, it may be the qualification, relationship, whatever I acquired, I say this is me. Actually, this is how we give our introduction. When someone asks us, who are you? What we answer? Whatever we have acquired, that we answer. We say our name, that this is my name is. But somebody is asking, who are you? And we are answering my name. So what I have acquired, that I'm giving in the answer. So the question, who am I, remains unanswered. So we need to first know, who is I? Who am I? Who is the self? Then only it will become easy for me to free myself to be myself. So what is self? Very simple. In the part 1 of this series, our sister Sheila Didi, she very nicely explained that we are not the bodies. We are different from this body. We are a spiritual energy, a divine point of light and might. But we have committed the mistakes of identifying ourselves with what we have acquired. So now we need to choose the right thing, that I am the spiritual being. See, the word self itself tells us what does the self means. How do you spell the self? S-E-L-F. So spiritual energy in light form, or you can say the spiritual entity in light form. To make it more simple, what we say? We say we are divine beings. We are the divine point of light and might. So this is actually self. So till today, we had the wrong image of self. I need to correct my image now. What is that? And because of this wrong image of myself, the problems have arisen. How the problems have arisen because of this wrong self? Let me tell you. See, the self is a spiritual being in a light form. Now, every energy has got some characteristics, some core qualities. Just like, see, the sun in the sky, that is also kind of energy. What does it give? What are the core qualities of the sun? It gives us light. The sun is giving light, but together with the light, sun is giving us heat also. Similarly, when I say that self means spiritual energy in light form, so this energy in the light form must be having some other characteristic, just like the sunlight has. Sun is having the light, giving the light and heat also. So what is that? That's what the core qualities of this spiritual energy are. Let me tell you first, what do you mean by core quality? What do you mean by fundamental quality of something, some energy? Just like we say the sun gives the heat and light. So heat and light is the core quality of sun. But when we say the core quality, what does it actually mean? See, sometimes we say the quality, the nature of the water, the core quality of the water is coolness. What does it mean? Suppose there is a glass of water in front of me and which is warm. The water is warm. But keeping the hand in that water, I'm saying the core quality of this water is cool. Am I saying right or wrong? Water is warm at the moment, but still then I'm saying the core quality, the original nature of the water is coolness. Am I right or wrong? I'm right. Why? I'm not saying that water is cool. I'm saying the quality, the core quality of the water is coolness. So when I say it is the core quality, what does it mean actually? It actually means that at the moment, water is warm because it has been heated up. It has absorbed the heat, and that heat is there in the water. So it is away from the coolness, it is hot. But because now it is no more under the heat, underneath the water there is no more heat now. So slowly this water, which is at the moment is the warm, after a while it becomes cool. So that is the core quality. Means core quality cannot be destroyed. It can disappear for some time, but cannot be destroyed. Same way, sun, when we say the core quality of sun is to give heat and light, what it means, if there is no heat and no light from the sun, then that is not the sun, because that is the core quality. It may happen that in rainy season, when there are clouds in the sky and in between me and the sun there are clouds, so that much heat and light cannot reach to me. So I can say, oh, there is no sun or there is no heat in the sun. But that is because of in between there is the cloud. The moment the cloud disappears, I can get the heat and the light from the sun. So that is core quality which never ever destroys, which nobody can snatch. The core quality remains with that one. So similarly, when I say self is a spiritual energy in light form, so definitely this energy must also be having some core qualities, some fundamental qualities. And what are those qualities? Do you know? Core quality, the fundamental quality of the spiritual being, the spiritual energy, which is also known as soul, is what we are looking for in the external world. We are working a lot to gain external things, thinking that by which we will experience peace and love and happiness and the bliss and the wisdom and the power. This is why we are working a lot in this world, outer world, to gain the external things. It can be the wealth, it can be the name, it can be the fame, position, property, whatever. Because this is our approach, that from outside in. But no, that is not working. That approach is failure now, not successful. So definitely this is the time to choose the another approach, and that is from inside out. So I was telling inside, that self which is sitting inside this body in the middle of the forehead, which is the energy, spiritual energy. It has got the characteristics, its characteristics, the fundamental qualities are what? Again, the word self gives the introduction of the characteristics of the self. How do you spell? Again, S-E-L-F, where S stands for serenity. Serenity means inner peace. And when you have the peace, you can experience happiness. Without peace, it is not possible to have the happiness. So if the characteristic of the spiritual energy is serenity, so happiness is also there. That is also the characteristics of this spiritual energy. And when you have the peace, you have the power also. So from as we came to know, this letter S gives us the introduction of the characteristics of the spiritual energy. This spiritual energy, what are the qualities? Serene, peace, power, happiness. And then E. E stands for enlightenment. And what is the enlightenment? The spiritual wisdom. The spiritual wisdom. And what is the spiritual wisdom? Who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? Where from I have come here? Who is the one to whom I belong? This is the spiritual wisdom. And when we have this spiritual wisdom, then we can live the life in a right way. And third is L. L is the love. And fourth is fulfillment. What is fulfillment? What is love? Love, you know. See, nowadays people say, very easily say to each other, I love you. But that love is not love actual, because tomorrow they say, I hate you. But the love is the fundamental quality of the self, of the soul, so that cannot be destroyed. But in relationships nowadays, because we are not connected on the basis of that self and soul with each other, so our love is the physical love. Our love is based on the what we are getting from each other. If we get something from the other, we say, I love you. And if I'm not getting what I'm expecting from you, I say, I hate you. So that is a physical love. That is the love based on what I'm getting from you. But the real love is the love at the soul level. Just as I'm a spiritual being in the light form, in the middle of this forehead, similarly, the other person whom I have the relation or whatever, that one is also a point of light in the middle of their forehead. So when we connect with each other in that way, we really, really experience the love. Because of the absence of this knowledge that we are self, that is what I said, the spiritual wisdom. We are looking at each other at the physical level, and that is why we are getting disappointed with each other. And there's the fourth is fulfillment. F is fulfillment, and that is what? That is the bliss. What do you mean by fulfillment? A fulfilled person, what does he do? What are the signs of fulfilled persons? When you are fulfilled, you are in a mode of giving. You are in a mode of sharing, in a mode of contributing, distributing. But when you are not fulfilled, when you are lacking, and when you are lacking, when you are not in your right consciousness that who I am. So I need to correct my consciousness. Till today, we are living on the basis of having the consciousness of the wrong image of the self. And that consciousness, based on the wrong image of the self, is known as body consciousness or the ego consciousness. And you know, they say ego has to do everything with getting, wanting. And the love has to do everything with giving, sharing, contributing, helping, cooperating. And this is how we can see. We are always in the mode of asking and getting and wanting and begging and resisting to the change. Why? We are resistant to change because we are not living the life with the right consciousness. And this false consciousness has created the problems. Let me give a very simple example. See, when a child is born, everyone gets attracted to that child. Everyone. Why? Because that child is radiating, that soul, that self is radiating, because he has not acquired yet anything from this external world, so that child is radiating the self in real sense. And radiating the self means the child is radiating the serenity, the happiness, the love, the bliss, everything is radiating. And those are fundamental qualities, because that is fundamental quality of each and every soul. So that attracts us towards that child. But when the child grows slowly, gradually, and he has admitted to a kindergarten and then schooling, you know what happens? He goes far away from his original qualities. How? When he was very small, he could attract everyone because he hasn't acquired anything from the external world. But when he grows, suppose he is going to this, he's a school going child, and as he's radiating his original qualities of love and happiness and giving respect to others. But, and not only that, even the parents teach the child, you have to be in a very loving relationship with each other. You have to give respect to each other. That is the way the one should live the life. So in the childhood, what the parents suggest, what the advice is, the parents, the child accept that and do that also. So in the beginning, when he was going to the school, he was loving every other fellow. He was respecting everyone. But slowly, one day what happened, the teacher announced that this one is going to be a class monitor from today onwards. And the moment child hear this word that I am going to be a class monitor, something happens inside. Do you know what happens inside? What happens inside? Ego generates. And because of that, you know what happens? Because earlier he was considering himself as the other child in the classroom, other students. Just like other students are there, I am also the one of them. But now, when the teacher announced that this child is going to be a class monitor, he finds that I am different from these other students. Not only different, but my grade is above than these students. And therefore, now, why should I respect them? I'm not supposed to give respect them. They are supposed to give respect me. And this is how the core qualities, we dropped using our core qualities just because of what we acquired. He just acquired a label that he is going to be a class monitor. And throughout the life, what we are not acquiring, so many things we are acquiring, as I earlier told. When you keep on studying one class, second class, third class, so you go on the upper class, you pass your board examination, then you pass your diploma, the degree, so many things you start acquiring. When you grow up, earlier you are simply a child, then you go to the school, you are a student, you get the friends, and when you grow, you get married, now you are a spouse. So like at every level, we are acquiring, and what we are acquiring, we are identifying ourselves with that, and which one is not right. Because what is acquired, that is not going to be last forever. And this is what is known as ego consciousness. Consciousness based on what I have acquired. So now I need to come closer to myself by freeing myself what I have acquired. I should not have the consciousness of what acquired. I should not live the life with that. Definitely, when we are in the life, we acquire. But the only thing that we need to pay attention, that consciousness should not be that I am this. This is something that I have required, but not I am this. So I need to live the life in the right consciousness, which is known as soul consciousness, consciousness of the self, a spiritual energy in the light form. So it means I'm coming closer to myself. See, when a sculptor is given a block of a stone or a slab of a marble, what he does, they say, it is said very nicely that every block of a stone has a statue, an angel, an idol, a figure inside it. It is the task of the sculptor to discover it. So once that block of the stone or the slab of marble comes in the hand of the sculptor, what he does? He look at he keeps that piece in front of his eyes, and then he starts visualizing what I want from this block of the stone. And second, first he determines what I want from this. And second thing, he outlines what is there which is extraneous. which is not relevant to what I need, what I want from this. What I want from this block of the stone or the slab of the marble, and a beautiful angel, a beautiful idol, a statue, a figure. So something which is not relevant to that, what I want, what he does, he starts outlining that. And once he outlined that, then the first step is he determines what I want from this. Second step is what is irrelevant, what I want, that I have to take out. And third step is he start taking out those irrelevant, unwanted, unnecessary things. And this is how a beautiful piece, a beautiful statue, a beautiful idol emerges from that piece of the block of a stone or a slab of a marble. Same way, because having the approach of from outside in, we have developed something which is not relevant to the self. And so, in order to free myself and then to be myself, I need to determine what I need. Do we really living life to accumulate lot of wealth and the property and the position and the money or degrees? Is that purpose of life? No. The purpose of life is acquiring all this. I actually need to experience the peace, the love, the happiness, the bliss, the power. And so, what I need to do, because once I came to know that how I have developed something which is irrelevant to the self, once I came to know what is self, so now I can see my figure very clearly. When I say self, earlier when I say self, what I have acquired, that comes in my mind. What is the image of this body? That image comes in my mind. But now, when I say self, then a point of light, a divine point of light and might comes in my visualization. So this is what I want, because in this divine point of light, there are the characteristics of love, serenity, peace, happiness, bliss. Why I'm not able to experience all these qualities, being these qualities of mind, the self? Because I am covered with all these irrelevant things. It is just like, in the block of the stone. If you are not a sculptor, what you will see in that block? Nothing. It is simply a block of marble and the stone. But a sculptor, his vision is different. So just as the sculptor has a different vision for looking at the piece of a marble or a stone, similarly, now I have to use my third eye of wisdom that I am receiving. That who am I? I'm not this body. Definitely, life is a combination of two energies. And one of them is physical, this body, and the another is the spiritual energy, the point of light. When these two energies come together, then life exists. If out of these two energies got separated, what we say? For the physical body without spiritual energy, what we say? This is that body. And for the wandering souls, what we say, sometimes people say, don't go here and there. Some souls are wandering there. Generally, people say like that. So when these two energies come together, then actually the life exists. So life is a combination of two energies. So we need to pay attention on both. But till that, what we are doing? We are doing only attention, paying attention only on the physical energy, the physical aspect of life. But now it is the time to pay attention on the spiritual aspect of life. And once the spiritual aspect is fulfilled, I can experience no matter whatever challenges are coming in my life, whatever puzzle situations are coming in my life, no matter whatever adverse situations I'm surrounded by, that will not affect me because I have the inner stability. By being in that consciousness that I am a spiritual energy, I am peaceful. So the serenity, peace, and the love are my qualities. And because when I consider myself like this, I keep myself away from all those acquired things. And this is how I'm able to radiate these qualities. Why I'm not radiate the qualities without being in the soul consciousness? Because when I'm not in the soul consciousness, means I'm far away from the soul, from the self, and I'm very close to the my acquired consciousness, that is ego consciousness, and that is why I radiate. This is how it is happening. For small things we get agitated, for small things we get irritated. A small thing happens in the life and we get tense, we get stressed, we get depressed, we get frustrated. Even something, the near and dear one, when they leave they leave us, we are in the grief because we don't understand the life in a real sense. We need to know that we are here as a player, just like in a play, just like in a drama. What is happening? The actors are playing parts. So this world is a drama stage. Just in the part 1 of the series, also the Shiruben very nicely said that this world is a drama stage, and we all, as a soul, are the actors. So when we are coming to relationships, what is happening? Because we don't have that consciousness of the self for ourselves, we can't see others also in that form of the self or the soul. So we get attached in that relation. And but when we have that soul consciousness, what happens? I'm a soul. The other person who I'm saying that this one is my mother or father, but now what I will say, the another one is also a soul, but that soul is in relation with me, a relation of mother and the child, or the brother and brother, or the student and teacher, whatever relation. But first we see, so just in a film, in a drama, different actors are given different parts. So what is their duty? What part they have been given? Their duty is to use their talent to make that part a live one, excellent one. So in order to be that, they don't have to be the controller. They don't need to control others, but they need to cooperate each other. But what is happening here, because we don't consider ourselves as actors in this world drama stage, we have developed the attitude of controlling others rather than having the attitude of cooperating each other. And that is why in today's world, we are facing a lot of problems. Whether it is a work field, whether it is a job, whether it is a business, whether it is a house, everywhere, because we are not having that spiritual wisdom about ourselves, that why we are here, who we are. So the spirituality gives the right understanding. Now the question arises, is that if I start considering myself that spiritual being and reminding myself that the serenity, the fulfillment, the love, happiness are my own qualities, and just by remembering I can radiate that, yes. It is what we think we feel. And what we feel, what we think, we radiate, we vibrate. But the thing is that even though we know that I have to do this practice, but even after knowing, we don't have that much power to put that into practice. So knowledge is not sufficient. Apart from the knowledge, we need the power also. So for accumulating that power, I need to connect with the Supreme Self. Just like you see in the smartphones, we have so many apps. For every single task, there is an app. And with one click, it is in service available. But if the battery gets discharged, would any app is going to work? No. Forget about the working of that app. Don't even appear on the screen if the battery is discharged. But what we do, we see the blank screen on the smartphone and we say, oh, my battery is fully discharged. Okay, let me charge it. And we put it for the charging. And when it gets charged, all the apps appears on the screen, and not only appears, again with the one single click, they start functioning also. So what does the learning from this example? Learning is that with the discharge of the battery, apps won't destroy. They simply disappear. Because for apps to be function, a little amount of charge is required, and that they are not getting from the supply. They are not being supplied from the battery because battery is discharged. So they just keep themselves hiding that they are disappeared in a disappeared form. But they are there. But once you charge the battery, they appear, they function. Similarly, our original qualities, fundamental characteristics are even today with us. Even I have forgotten that I'm a self and these are my core qualities. Even then they are within me. But I need to awaken them. I need to use them. So I can use by reminding myself that this is my quality. I'm a peaceful soul. I'm a loveful soul. I'm a loving soul. I'm a happy soul. I'm a blissful soul. So as you think, you will become, you will radiate, you will vibrate that energy. But you can't do this for a longer time because battery has been discharged, because we haven't remembered ourselves since long. And that is how the role of the Supreme Self in our life is needed, is necessary. Because sometimes people say, what is the need of God in our life? Yes, He is the powerhouse. Just like we are the spiritual energy in light form, He is also a spiritual energy in light form. The only difference is that we are just like battery and He is the powerhouse. So being a powerhouse, He never ever gets empty. And He being a powerhouse, He never ever acquires the wrong consciousness. Whereas we, the spiritual energy in light form, enter into the body, and through the body we are playing part. And while playing part, because we are engaged in the outer world through the sense organs, slowly we go away from ourselves. We externalize ourselves completely and we forgot ourselves. But in case of God, the one who is the Supreme Self, He is also Self, but Supreme Self. So whenever we have to remember Him, just like I said, I need to correct myself that when I say I am, who am I? I am the self, SELF, the spiritual energy in light form. So in my visualization, that light form should come and see myself, that from that point of light energy which is sitting here, the vibrations of peace and happiness are vibrating. And when I myself come at that frequency, then it becomes very easy to be connected with the God, because the Supreme Self, the Supreme Being, Supreme Energy, He's always at that frequency. That is how we praise Him. He's the ocean of peace. He's the ocean of love. He's the ocean of bliss. So He's always vibrating at that frequency. So in order to get connect with Him, I need to bring myself in that frequency. Once I bring myself at that frequency, and we know as in the science that same frequencies gets connected. So when I am in that state that I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a loving soul, I'm a spiritual energy. So when I am radiating this, it is, and the next moment I'm remembering God, I very easily connect with the God, because we are at the same frequency. And being the same frequency, we get connected. And once we get connected, the power from Him, the energy from Him comes to me, and I got empowered. Not only I got empowered, while connecting Him, I developed a beautiful, loving relationship with Him. And that loving relationships makes me feel to have the experience of love. And when there is love in my life, when there is the awareness, means knowledge is there, and there is the power, and there is the love, means, and the life becomes enthusiastic. And then gradually we feel ourselves fulfilled. And once we feel ourselves fulfilled, we start giving to others. We start sharing with others. We start contributing. We start distributing. No more any desire for wanting from others, for getting from others. So this way, we can make our life very beautiful. So as we learn to allow our life to be shaped, and as we learn about the spiritual wisdom, about self, about God, then it is easy to make the life beautiful, to make the life excellent. No matter what problems I'm surrounded externally, but internally, I'm very stable, I'm very peaceful, I'm very fulfilled. And in that state, I radiate all those qualities, and whoever is in my surrounding, they also experience those qualities, and their life also gets inspired that how you have made such life, and that inspiration makes him to go into the detail of all those things, to learn those things in their life. And if this way everybody does, everybody tries to learn about themselves, learn about the God, everybody's life is going to become successful in real sense, excellent, beautiful. That is how. So now I need to become the sculptor of my life. In that case, the sculptor is different and sculpture is different. But in my case, in the case of life, I myself is the sculptor and I myself is the sculpture. So what I need to free myself from what I have acquired from that, means the consciousness of that, because that wrong consciousness only is creating the problems, whether it is a problem of tension or sorrow or pain or stress or frustration or hatredness or jealousy. All these things are because of wrong consciousness. So yes, there is another way to free yourself and to be yourself. I think with this, I should finish my talk here, and let us just for a few moments experience that spiritual being and the connection with that supreme being, the God Father. Om Shanti. Visualize yourself as a divine point of light in the middle of the forehead. See a point of light from which unlimited rays are emerging out. I am very cool and calm. This is me. I, the soul, the self, am very peaceful. See the vibrations of peace are getting vibrated everywhere around me. I'm a loveful soul. I'm a blissful soul. See yourself vibrating the vibrations of love, bliss, and peace. And now, as I am at the frequency of the God, the Supreme Being, the Supreme Self, I remember Him. I see Him also as a point of light. Just as I am the point of light, I see Him, the God in front of me. I am point of light. He is also point of light. But He is the ocean of peace, whereas I am the embodiment of peace. See the rays from the Supreme Being, the God, the divine point of light in mind, spreading everywhere and coming to me also. I'm connected to God. The connection between me, the Self, and the Supreme Self has established, and all the power, that ocean of peace, that ocean of love, the Almighty Authority has, is coming to me, and I, the Self, is being empowered. See yourself as an empowered soul, as an empowered self, and see that from me, the self, the vibrations of peace and love are vibrating everywhere. I am in a mode of giving because I am fulfilled. And with this fulfilled mode, Now I come into the field of action and fulfill or perform my responsibilities, radiating these vibrations of peace and love to everyone I'm working with. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Shanti, thank you again, Sister Indra. That was a very beautiful and insightful speech this evening. What I really loved about it is that you are the embodiment of what you speak about. You were talking about enthusiasm today, and you radiate spiritual wisdom and enthusiasm. And you can just see that you're speaking from the heart, you're speaking from a deep understanding. And what you were saying about with that enthusiasm, you feel fulfilled, and what naturally happens is that you share with others. And what you've shared with us tonight is just such a beautiful gift. And you've demonstrated what happens when we start to live from the inside out. You know, when we're free from, you've said, you know, we should free ourselves from what we've acquired, like the labels and that insightful example about the school monitor, how quickly it happens and what happens as you've demonstrated, the enthusiasm, the wisdom, the generous heart that comes from actually being free to be yourself. So thank you so much for everything that you shared this evening. And on behalf of all of our viewers, I'd like to thank you. And I'd like to invite all of our viewers to join us again next week with the final episode in this series. So we'll be looking at, again, is there another way? And Sheila Ben will be joining us again next week. So thank you again to everyone, and especially to Sister Indra. Om Shanti and good night.